Hello everyone, welcome to the channel Microbial World. Today we will be discussing about microbial interactions. So microorganisms interacts with each other. They can be physically associated with another organism in variety of ways. Microbial interactions are diverse and it is very important in the function of any biological community. Now, when one organism is located on the surface of another organism, it is called an ectobiont. Okay? And if one organism is located within another organism, it is called an endobiont. The interactions between two populations are classified on the basis of whether one or both the populations are being benefited from that relationship or association. Or they can be classified on the basis of whether one or both the populations are being negatively affected or they are having a negative relationship. Okay. Now let's look into the types of microbial interaction. Positive interaction includes mutualism, syntrophism, protocooperation and commensalism. Negative interaction includes ammensalism, which is also called antagonism, parasitism, predation and competition. We will be discussing each of these microbial interaction in detail. Mutualism. It is a relationship in which each organism in interaction gets benefited from the association. This is an obligatory relationship, which means the mutualist and host are metabolically dependent on each other. The relationship is very specific, where one member of association cannot be replaced by another species. This means the mutualist or the host, they cannot be replaced by any other species. Okay? And mutualism requires close physical contact between interacting organisms. It allows organisms to exist in habitat that could not be occupied by either species alone. So, if the mutualist or the host is absent, okay, if any one of them is absent itself, then they cannot survive in that habitat. Both the mutualist and the host should be present. Only then they can exist in that habitat. Okay, and it allows them to act as a single organism. Examples of mutualism. Lichens. Fungal-algal association is called lichens. Okay. The fungal partner is called microbiont and algal partner is called phycobiont, which is a member of cyanobacteria and green algae Traboxua. So how the fungus and algae is getting benefited from this association? The fungus gets organic carbon directly from the algae. Okay? And in turn, the fungus will protect the phycobiont from extreme conditions and also provides water and minerals to the algae, right? Another example is protozoan-termite relationship. Flagellated protozoan lives in the gut of termites. Okay, so these flagellated protozoans, they feed on a diet of carbohydrates acquired as cellulose or lignin by their host termites, and they will metabolize it into acetic acid. And this acetic acid is in turn utilized by termites. Paramecium chlorella. Paramecium is a protozoa and chlorella is algae. Paramecium can host chlorella within its cytoplasm. The algae chlorella provides protozoan partner with organic carbon and oxygen. And in turn, protozoa provides protection, carbon dioxide and other growth factors. So we said that chlorella is present within the cytoplasm of paramecium, right? So this presence of chlorella helps the protozoa to survive in anaerobic condition as long as there is sufficient light, okay? Syntrophism. Syntrophism is an association in which the growth of one organism either depends on or is improved by the substrate provided by another organism. Similar to mutualism, both organisms in association gets to benefit from each other. Examples of syntrophism. Methanogenic ecosystem in a sludge digester. Anaerobic fermentative bacteria in the sludge digester will generate carbon dioxide and hydrogen utilizing carbohydrates. This carbon dioxide and hydrogen is utilized by methanogenic bacteria such as methanobacter to produce methane. Okay. Another example is Lactobacillus aeruginosus and Enterococcus faecalis. So in a minimal media, Lactobacillus aeruginosus and Enterococcus faecalis are able to grow together but not alone. This is because Enterococcus faecalis requires folic acid. This is produced by Lactobacillus aeruginosus. Similarly, Lactobacillus aeruginosus requires phenylalanine. This is produced by Enterococcus faecalis. So there is a synergistic relationship between them and both the organisms are benefited from this association, right? Protocooperation. It is a relationship in which an organism in an association is mutually benefited with each other. So protocooperation is also a positive interaction and the organisms in the association, they are benefited with each other. Okay. And this is also similar to mutualism, but the difference is that it is not an obligatory relationship. Okay. The organisms, they are not depending on each other. Okay. Examples of protocooperation include association of disulfovibrio and chromatium. It is a protocooperation between carbon cycle and sulfur cycle. So how the organisms are benefited is that the organic matter and sulfate that is required by disulfovibrio is produced by chromatium. Okay? And in turn, the reduction of carbon dioxide to organic matter and oxidation of sulfide to sulfate, which is required by chromatium, is carried out by disulfovibrio. Right? Another example is interaction between nitrogen-fixing bacteria and cellulolytic bacteria such as cellulomonas. So cellulomonas will degrade cellulose and produce glucose molecules. Okay, this glucose molecules, it is utilized by nitrogen-fixing bacteria such as azotobacter. And in turn, cellulomonas uses the nitrogen that is fixed by azotobacter. Okay. Commensalism. It is a relationship in which one organism, commensal, is benefited while another organism, host, is neither benefited nor harmed. So we can say it is a unidirectional association, right? Why? Because only one organism is getting benefited from this relationship, whereas another organism, it is not getting any benefits from this association and it is not being harmed also. Okay? And even if the commensal is separated from the host, it can survive. Examples of commensalism include non-pathogenic E. coli in the intestinal tract of humans. E. coli is a facultative anaerobe that uses oxygen and lowers the oxygen concentration in the gut. This creates a suitable environment for obligate anaerobes such as bacteroids. So bacteroids is benefited from this relationship, right? So bacteroids is the commensal here and E. coli is the host, which is neither benefited nor harmed. Flavobacterium and Legionella pneumophila. Flavobacterium excretes cystine, which is used by Legionella pneumophila and survives in the aquatic habitat. So Legionella pneumophila is the commensal and Flavobacterium is the host. Association of Nitrosomonas and Nitrobacter in nitrification. Nitrosomonas oxidize ammonia into nitrite. This nitrite is utilized by Nitrobacter to obtain energy and oxidize it into nitrate. So Nitrobacter is the commensal and Nitrosomonas is the host. Ammensalism, which is also called antagonism. This is a negative interaction. Okay, one microbial population produces substances that are inhibitory to other microbial population. This is called ammensalism or antagonism. The first population which produces inhibitory substances are unaffected or may gain competition and survive in the habitat while other populations get inhibited. Okay. So this means that the first microbial population which is producing these inhibitory substances, they are not affected. Okay. And also they are having more advantage of existing in that habitat. Whereas the growth of the other microbial population, it is inhibited. This chemical inhibition is known as antibiosis. Examples of antagonism or ammensalism. Lactic acid produced by lactic acid bacteria in the vaginal tract. So lactic acid produced by the normal flora of vaginal tract will inhibit the growth of many pathogenic organisms such as Candida albicans. Okay. Then there is skin normal flora. Fatty acid produced by the skin flora also inhibits many pathogenic bacteria on the skin. Another example is Thiobacillus thiooxidant. Thiobacillus thiooxidant produces sulfuric acid by oxidation of sulfur. It lowers the pH in the culture medium, which inhibits the growth of most other bacteria. Competition. This is also a type of negative interaction between two microbial populations. So as there is a competition between two microbial populations, both the populations will be negatively affected with respect to their survival and growth. Competition occurs when both populations use the same resources, that is, same space or same nutrition. Microbial population competes for any growth limiting resources such as carbon source, nitrogen source, phosphorus, vitamins, growth factors, etc. Competition will inhibit both populations from occupying exactly the same ecological niche. An example of competition is competition between Paramecium codatum and Paramecium aurelia. So both the species of Paramecium feeds on the same bacterial population when these protozoa are placed together. So there is a competition between them for the bacterial population, right? And when there is a competition, only one of them can win. So Paramecium aurelia grows at a better rate than Paramecium codatum. Parasitism. It is a relationship in which one population parasite gets benefited and derives its nutrition from other population host in the association which is harmed. So here the parasite is getting benefited from the association and they are also obtaining nutrients from the host. On the other hand, the host is being harmed in this association. Okay. The host-parasite relationship is characterized by long period of contact which may be physical or metabolic. Some parasite lives outside the host cell. It is known as ectoparasite. Some parasite lives inside the host cell and this is known as endoparasite. Examples of parasitism. Viruses. Virus is an obligate intracellular parasite that exhibits great host specificity. So we know that viruses that attack bacteria are called bacteriophages. Okay. Then there are also viruses that are parasite to fungi, algae, protozoa, etc. Dellovibrio. Dellovibrio is an ectoparasite, which means it lives outside the host cell, right? It is an ectoparasite to many gram-negative bacteria. Predation. It is a type of interaction where one organism predator engulfs or attacks other organism prey. So this is a negative relationship, right? The prey can be larger or smaller than the predator and it results in the death of the prey. The predator-prey interaction is of short duration. Examples of predation include protozoan bacteria in soil. So protozoans feed on various bacterial population and this helps to maintain the count of soil bacteria at optimum level. Dellovibrio, Vampirococcus, Daptobacter are examples of predator bacteria that feeds on wide range of bacterial population. Okay, so they are predator bacteria which feeds on other bacterial populations. Okay. So this is all about microbial interactions. Hoping that the video was informative and useful. Thank you.